This is the October 6th edition of Tank's Vlog. Wrapping up today in sports. The Division Series in baseball kicked into high gear, with Game 2 in the American League and Game 1 in the National League. The American League, the Boston Red Sox are on the brink as the Houston Astros recorded a second straight 8-2 win. Dallas Keuchel was strong. Drew Pomeranz faltered. Now the Red Sox is the second straight year they've struggled in the division series. Now they have to go home and hope that they can win two and maybe find a way to win another game in Houston. But one more loss and the Red Sox season's over, and they're in danger of being swept out of the playoffs for the second straight year. Bullpen, David Price pitched well, but other than that, the Red Sox were just not good today, and they've not looked good in this series. The Astros have had more energy, more timely hitting, and better pitching. Meanwhile, the New York Yankees clobbered Corey Kluber. And then Joe Girardi hesitated. First, he took out CC Sabathia. Now, alright, maybe you want to take him out. You think that he's reached his pitch limit, that he would pitch well past the sixth inning. Chad Green certainly came in and saved the day in the wild card game. But when your catcher's over there going, review it, after the umpires said that Lonnie Chisenhall was hit by a pitch. Look at the body language. Chisenhall knows he wasn't hit by the pitch. He didn't even react. The ball clearly hit the bat. I mean, it ticked the bat. It could look like it could have hit his hand. So you can't blame the whole plate umpire for saying it was hit by a pitch. But you got the tools to change the call. And Joe Girardi just sat there. He said he didn't want to disrupt his pitcher's rhythm. Yet his catcher goes out there every 5 seconds to talk to him. Is that not disrupting the pitcher's rhythm? 10 years ago, Joe Torre was fired in a similar situation. Now, he might have been on his way out because the Yankees didn't get past the division series. And back then, the Yankees and Indians were on a level playing field. This is not like this year, where the Yankees are this young up-and-coming team, and the Indians are clearly the favorites. But you had a chance to steal one game in Cleveland, and they blew it. And they blew it because Joe Girardi hesitated. He should just come out and own up to the mistake. He blew it. He blew it. He simply blew it. To not call for a replay there is just an utter joke when your catcher is telling you, I heard the ball hit the bat. And the replay shows it hit the knob of the bat. Under his glove. It didn't hit him in the hand. It hit the knob of the bat. By the way, if it hits the knob and his hand, it's still a foul tip because it hit the bat. And that's a foul tip. And a foul tip caught on a dirt strike, out. Innings over. Yankees are still up 8-3. Instead, next batter up, Francisco Lindor hits a booming grand slam, wakes up the sleeping crowd at Progressive Field, and then the West is history. Jay Bruce ties the game off of David Robertson, and the Yankees end up losing in 13 innings, 9-8. This series is over. Over. There's no way the Yankees even sniff Game 3. I don't care if it's at the Bronx. I don't care where it's at. The Indians are going to sweep this series. And now the Yankees have to ask themselves a question. Did Joe Girardi lose that team because Aroldis Chapman clicked on the article that said Joe Girardi should be fired? He clicked like on an article that called him an imbecile. This is going to get ugly in the Bronx. And it's all because Joe Girardi hesitated. As they always have said, he who hesitates is lost. National League Division Series began today, and a great pitcher's duel between Kyle Hendricks and Steven Strasburg, and the Cubbies won. So, Washington. Washington, will the Nationals ever win a playoff series? I don't think they're going to win this series. I didn't think they're going to win this series, but this is a tough one. The Cubs know how to. You needed to beat the Cubs big time today, and they just didn't do it. They didn't come through. A couple of unearned runs in the sixth inning, and now they're down. And if they lose tomorrow or today, they're done. Done. And the Dodgers wrapped up today with Clayton Kershaw. He wasn't great today. Clayton Kershaw wasn't great, but you know what? He didn't have to be. Justin Turner just ripped the cover off the ball, and the Dodgers end up beating the Diamondbacks in the opener 9-5. It's Saturday, so it's time to do our six-pack picks for college football, sponsored by MyBookieAG. Last week I had a bounce-back week. I went 6-0, picking winners, and 4-2 against the spread. This week I like Florida to beat LSU. The Bayou Bengals lost at home to Troy. No way they're going into Swamp and winning. In the battle for Florida, I like the U to beat the Seminoles. Seminoles could have been a national title contender, but the loss of DeAndre Francois has been disastrous. I don't know if they're going to even make a bowl game right now. Francois was so much a key part of that team. Just losing him, it's just been such a devastating blow to Florida State. I like TCU. I like TCU by a couple of touchdowns over West Virginia. I think they're going to cover that 13-point spread. TCU went into Oklahoma State. Now they have to prove they're worthy of that top 10 ranking at home, and I think they beat the Mountaineers. Alabama, they're just crushing everyone right now. I don't care where they're playing right now. They're going to go into Texas A&M, and they're going to crush the Aggies. In the battle for Michigan, Sparty's been better this year, but in the end, I just think Michigan is just too much. Now, Michigan hasn't been great. Their offense hasn't been great, but their defense has been spectacular. And I think they cover the spread. It's a 10-point spread. It's a little high, but I think they just eke over it. And Washington State, with their big win last week against USC, is flying high at 5-0. Now they come back to earth. They've never fared well in Eugene. The Ducks look like they're on a rebound. I like the direction Oregon's going, and at home, Oregon not only gets the cover, but they get the upset as well. I like the Ducks outright. Today's 3 stars are Kyle Hendricks of the Cubs, Justin Turner of the Dodgers, and Carlos Correa of the Astros. And our birthday shout-out goes to the only defensive player to win a Heisman Trophy, Charles Woodson, who turns 41. And what's funny is he was the guy that stripped Tom Brady on the tuck rule play, and they were college teammates. That's always been an interesting dynamic, and I watched that timeline yesterday. It was a very interesting show on NFL Network. And we take a look back, speaking of timelines, at the 1952 World Series, another 7-game battle between the Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Yankees, once again won by the Yankees. Duke Snider had a great series, but Billy Martin made the biggest play, coming in from deep second base with the bases loaded on a pop-up by Jackie Robinson and catching the ball off his shoe tops. Had that ball fallen, the Dodgers would have at least tied the game. It's a 3-2 count, 2 outs, and all the runners are going. The merry-go-round was in action, and the first baseman lost the ball. The pitcher was lost, the catcher was lost, but out of nowhere, Billy Martin from deep second base came running, picked the ball just off the ground, just before it hit the ground for the final out, stemming the last Dodger rally. That's all for today. Good day.